Hello everyone and welcome back to another screencast. This one's on quadrilaterals, names, facts and angles that go in them. So it's quite a big one. I'm not going to lie. Get ready for a marathon, not a sprint. What is a quadrilateral? Hopefully we know this. A quadrilateral is a four-sided shape. Here's some examples of some four-sided shapes. And the other really, really important thing is that all the interior angles of a quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. And the reason why is this, because if we look from a quadrilateral, we can make two triangles. And we know that the internal angles of a triangle equal 180. So two of them is going to equal 360 degrees. Let's have a look at one of these questions that might go along with this knowledge of 360 degrees. So we know that all the interior angles equal 360 degrees. And we know what three of them are. So the way that we'd work that out is we'd go 360, take away 90 plus 90 is 180, take away another 80, and we are left with, believe it or not, 100 degrees. So we know that that angle there is going to be 100 degrees. All right, what about a square? What do we know about a square? So a square, opposite sides are parallel, all angles are 90 degrees, all sides are equal. A square is a special rectangle with all the sides equal. We already knew all that information, didn't we? But these little boxes we should know resemble or represent 90 degrees, each of them. And as we see, we can got 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90, and that gives us our 360 degrees. Not 3,600. That's a very, very large degree sign, sir. There we go. All right. What about this one? What is this one called? What do you think we call this one? Hopefully, you've all said it's a parallelogram. So things to know about a parallelogram is opposite sides are parallel, hence the name. Opposite sides are equal in length. If they weren't equal in length, they wouldn't be parallel. Remember that all of the interior angles equal 360 as per normal. So let's have a little look at a question we might get. Now this one here, just to help you out, this 110, because these are parallel, it means that this side here is going to equal 110 also. Other things to remember is, and there's two ways to do this, but this angle here and this angle here will always add up to 180. So this is going to be 70 degrees. And this will be the same as this one, and this will be 70 degrees too. Now, that only works because it's a parallelogram. Please don't be saying that these two here are the same if the lengths are different. Okay, that's very, very key. The other way to work it out would have been that we know that this angle is the same as this angle, so we'd add them together. Okay, so we'd say 360, take away 220, and that equals 140. And that would be both of these angles added together, but we know that they're both the same. So we'd say 140 divided by 2, and that gives us our 70 degrees. So that's the other way to do it. But if we know our stuff, and this all comes down to parallel lines and whatnot, but hopefully you get that. All right. Oh, sorry, I forgot to click that button, but we can see the parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel, opposite sides are equal. More examples. Here we go. What's this one? Trapezium. All right, so these two sides here are parallel. These can be, interestingly enough, these could be different lengths. It looks like they're the same length here, but you can't count on that, okay? So remember that all the interior angles do equal 180. And we do know that this angle plus this angle here, yeah, will equal how much? That's right, 180. So we can say that this is 60, because 60 plus 120 gives us 180. So if this is 80, then this is going to be, it's going to add up to 180 also. So this is going to be 100, because 100 plus 80 is 180. 20 plus 60 is 180. So we know that altogether it equals 360 degrees. And we're moving on. The rhombus, right? So the rhombus is like a parallelogram. The only difference between it is that the four sides are of equal length to each other. So what you'll find is, I haven't put the dashes here, the dashes would be here also to say that, well, they're the same length, rhombus the same length. And again, this angle here will be the same as this angle here. This angle here will be the same as this angle here. So just remember that as you go through. So here we go. We've got what's A and what's B. Okay, so have a little think about it before I write it. What would A be? Well, A would be 110 because it's the same as this. And B would be 70 because it's the same as this one. All right. We're getting down to the end now. This is a kite. So we have two pairs of equal sides. The equal sides are adjacent to each other, next to each other, rather than opposite. All right, so we can see that this is the same length as this. This is the same length as this. And what that means is that this angle here will be the same as this angle here. This angle is not going to be the same as this unless these ones are the same, and that would be either a square. So it's not going to be a kite if that was the case. So when we have a look at the questions, just remember that this one here is the same as this one here. All right, let's have a look at the question. What I'd like you to do is pause the video and give this one a go yourself and see if you can work out what the answer is. Okay, so what we should have known is that this angle here is the same as this angle here, so I can write that in, 110 degrees. If I add these two together, 110 plus 110, that gives me 220, plus 80, that gives me 300. So what's y going to be? It's going to be 360, take away 300. And that gives me 60 degrees. Okay? Very, very simple. All right, so now we are at the point where we have to do the quiz. Now the quiz is over 2 slides. So the first slide, and then we'll go over the answers for that. And then it'll be over a second slide, and we'll go over the answers for that. So just remember, it's over 2 slides. So here goes the first group of questions. You need to find the missing angles. See if you can do that now. And then come back and see if you've got them correct. All right, so here we go. Here goes our answers. So we can see that these angles here added together will give us 180. So we had 80 plus 100. These angles here added together will give us 180, and they do. Right, same thing here. These angles here will equal 180. So we had 70 plus 110. We knew that this was the same, and then this was the same as that. We knew that this was the same, okay, because 140 plus 140, right, 280. Plus the 40 gives us our 360 degrees. And you can actually see there, that was a bit of a poor question by me because I wouldn't, in an ideal world, want them to be the same. But never mind, we did. And again, look, we've got 120 plus 60. We know they equal 180. The same goes over here, 130 and 50 equals 180. So hopefully you got those correct. If you didn't, don't worry. I'm sure you learned from the process and you'll be better for next time. Here goes. Now, I would like you to draw the shapes here. Can you remember just a quick draw of the shapes to see if you can match them and their properties? Pause the video now, give it a go, and come back and see if you've got it right. All right, here we go. Here's the examples of the kite, the square, the trapezium, the parallelogram, and last but not least, the rhombus. So hopefully you did those, you got those right, and you've done really, really well. As I said, it was a bit of a marathon of a screencast, but I'm sure you can handle it. As per normal, write a little revision card on these if you can. And until next time, it's been an absolute pleasure helping you with your maths today. Hopefully you've got that little bit better.